Vandaag bij Antwoorden met Bayless Conley.
Mary has her encounter with the angel. The Spirit overshadows her. She becomes pregnant. Then, according to Luke's account, she goes to her cousin Elizabeth's house. Elizabeth is married to a priest named Zacharias, and she stays there 3 months. And then she comes back to Joseph pregnant.
Welkom bij Antwoorden met Bayless Conley. Het leven kan soms een uitdaging zijn. Maar of het nu gaat om financiën, relaties, gezondheid of de vraag naar je doel in je leven, één ding is zeker. God ziet je. Hij houdt van je. En wat er ook aan de hand is, hij heeft de antwoorden op je vragen.
Won't you please find Matthew chapter 1 with me, if you would. Matthew's Gospel, the first chapter. And I would like to talk to you for a little while about the Christmas story, but as it would have unfolded through the eyes of Joseph. You know, we talk about, the shepherds. We talk a lot about Mary. We talk about all these different elements, but really one of the unsung heroes in the whole story was Joseph. Just like Mary was chosen to bring the Son of God, the Savior, into the world, Joseph was chosen as well. Now, from Matthew chapter 1, we understand that he was chosen because he was in the direct lineage of King David, and it was a fulfillment of prophecy, but there was more than that. There were more factors involved. There's some qualities in Joseph's life that made him a candidate for God's choosing, just like there were qualities in the life of young Mary that made her the candidate for God's choosing. And we're going to talk about probably at least four of those qualities in Joseph's life as we, again, look at the Christmas story through his eyes. And the first thing that stood out to me is this, that he was just. Joseph was a just man. Matthew chapter 1 and verse 18. Matthew 1 and verse 18. Now the birth of Jesus Christ was as follows. After his mother Mary was betrothed to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Spirit. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man, and not wanting to make her a public example, was minded to put her away or divorce her secretly. He was a just man, the scripture says. In other words, upright. He did what was right in God's sight. You could look at it this way. He was just. He acted just like God. He was just. Specifically, we see that as the things unfolded, he thought about Mary when he found out she was pregnant and not about himself. He wasn't motivated to get revenge, or he wasn't filled with self-pity thinking, I'm going to drag your name through the mud and everybody's going to know what you've done. Or he didn't take it a step further, which he could have, and had the community stone her according to the law of Moses. I mean, think about it. Mary has her encounter with the angel. The Spirit overshadows her. She becomes pregnant. Then, according to Luke's account, she goes to her cousin Elizabeth's house. Elizabeth is married to a priest named Zacharias, and she stays there 3 months. And then she comes back to Joseph pregnant. He doesn't know anything about the angel and the announcement and the Holy Spirit. If you look at it through his eyes, his whole world had to be falling apart. The girl he loves and is about to marry is pregnant with somebody else's baby. He's going to become the laughing stock of Nazareth. All of his plans, all of his dreams have come crashing down around him. But in the midst of it all, he's thinking about Mary, not wanting her to become a public spectacle. And you know what? Many a man fueled by feelings of betrayal and hurt, would have said, look, let the whole world know what she'd done. I deserve better than this. But Joseph was a just man. He was a man of mercy. He acted just like God, who, even though we've been unfaithful, God remains faithful to us and merciful to us. And Joseph was a just man. And I think if we're going to emulate that, we obviously need to think about others, including those that have trespassed against us. And think about extending them mercy in the same way that God has extended us mercy, rather than be eaten up with thoughts of revenge or wallowing in a sea of self-pity. Now, the second thing that stands out to me in the story about Joseph is this: he was not rash. Joseph was not rash. Verse 20, same chapter, Matthew 1. But while he thought about these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take to you Mary, your wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. And she will bring forth a son, he shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. Joseph wasn't rash. He didn't make an angry decision. The scripture says he thought about these things. We need to think twice before we speak once, and we need to think even more before we act. Ecclesiastes 7:9 says, do not hasten in your spirit to be angry, for anger rests in the bosom of fools. Ecclesiastes 5:2, do not be rash with your mouth. Proverbs 19:2, a man in a hurry makes mistakes. James 1:19, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, or slow to get angry. If you are given to making rash decisions, especially when you're angry or hurt, most of the time you will just compound your problems. The book of James says, the wrath of man, the anger of man does not work the righteousness of God. Now, I'll confess, it's one of the areas in my life that I have specifically asked God to help me in, so that I can cool down and not make decisions when I'm upset. Because I don't have a problem making decisions most of the time. You know, Janet comes out, which pair of shoes? That one. Well, you didn't really, yeah, I did. I saw you when you walked out. And I'm pretty much that way with anything. I can make a decision quickly. But I can also make one really quickly when I'm upset. And that's not good. Don't be anxious. Learn to cruise. I have three speeds in my life. Slow, slower, and stop. Joseph was not rash. It's a beautiful thing that we read about him. And then there's just something else I think we should consider here, that while Joseph pondered these unfolding events, God communicated with him. When he took time to think about it, God spoke. And I believe as we get quiet and take time to ponder and think about things, rather than flying off the handle and making a rash decision, that we give God the opportunity to reveal his mind in that particular matter. While Joseph thought about these things, while he pondered them, while he waited and mulled it over and probably prayed, what do I do? God spoke. But if we're given to flying off the handle and just making a rash decision, I think we don't even give time for God to speak into the situation. And it brings me to the third thing that stood out to me about Joseph, and it's this: though he was not rash, once he understood God's will, he was obedient. Joseph was obedient. Look with me, this same chapter, next verse, verse 22. So all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, saying, Behold, the virgin shall be with child and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which is translated God with us. Then Joseph, being aroused from sleep, did as the angel of the Lord commanded him, and took to him his wife, and did not know her till she had brought forth her firstborn son, and he called his name Jesus. I want you to notice, as soon as he woke up and understood God's will, he acted upon it immediately. When he awoke, he did what God had said to him in the dream through the angel. He didn't hedge or vacillate, even though there was probably going to be some uncomfortable consequences for him. He's going to have to face family members and friends that think he's a fool for going ahead and marrying this girl that's already pregnant. Anybody would have been able to do the math and say, okay, she got pregnant before you guys got married, and you stuck with her anyway. He's going to have to deal with that. And even in the Gospels, there's at least some hints that there were these lingering rumors about the legitimacy of Jesus' birth among the people. In John 8:41, some of the religious leaders, Jesus is confronting them, and they say, hey, we're not illegitimate. God is our Father. And some commentators say that it was sort of a backhanded statement. We're not illegitimate like some of the people standing around here. Yeah, we know the rumors. Joseph's not your daddy. Joseph would have had to deal with all of those things, and yet he still promptly obeyed. And I believe that timely obedience reaps timely blessings. I think perhaps the delays we experience in receiving answers from God may be directly tied to our delayed obedience to bless others. Here's an unalterable law in Scripture, Galatians 6:7. Whatever a man sows, that shall he also reap. If my obedience is always delayed in blessing others and giving of my time, my treasure, my talent, whatever it is, and then when I'm in need, I'm going to reap the same way that I've sown. Now don't get me wrong. God's mercy overrides a lot of stuff. And repentance is a big deal with God. And if we mean it, God will work on credit. God, I promise, the next time you talk to me, I'm going to act immediately. God says, okay, I'll take you at your word. But there is a law we throw into motion, even when it comes to obedience. If we're delayed, it comes back to us the same way. I had some friends that were going to Bible college, and they're struggling to get through, struggling financially. And yet this guy's a sharp businessman, has his own business, and he's got no clientele. And he told me, he said, Pastor, I just prayed. Things got desperate. I didn't have money for the tuition. We didn't have money for the rent. I said, God, what's going on? I'm doing everything I know to do. And he said, Pastor, the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, what have you done about the $200 I spoke to you 6 months ago to send to the missionary in the Philippines? He said, well, Lord, I actually haven't done anything about that. And he and his wife wrote a check, and it basically just about cleaned them out because they were down to the bottom of the barrel. Went to the post office, posted that money to the missionary in the Philippines. He got back, and there were clients waiting for him at his business when he got back. And clients began to come out of the woodwork, and he had more business than he knew what to do with. And what he conveyed to me, he said, I understand that that this blessing I was looking for that was so delayed, it was directly tied to my delayed obedience. I'd reaped the same way that I had sown. Joseph was obedient. In fact, look in chapter 2 with me, if you would. Verses 13 and verse 14. Now when they had departed, that's talking about the wise man, departed for home, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, take the young child and his mother, flee to Egypt. Stay there until I bring you word. for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed for Egypt. In obedience, he uprooted his entire family and moved to a foreign land. Joseph left family, friends, community, everything that was familiar, and he went into the unfamiliar because God directed him there. I think many times as we walk the pathway of obedience with God, that pathway will take us straight out of our comfort zone and into the unfamiliar. We're sojourners just passing through. And eternity, will open up before us. I think every one of us as Christ followers should be prompt and willing to go where God says to go and to do whatever he asks us to do. I'm sure Joseph had plans to get a home, own his own business, but God rudely interrupted all of that and sent them to Egypt. And again, we find Joseph promptly obeying. He immediately obeyed once he understood God's will. Now, he could have said, Egypt? Why Egypt? I don't know anyone in Egypt. Egypt was infamous for idolatry and for tyranny. They weren't exactly on the best of terms with the people of God. Egypt had been a house of bondage for Israel, and they had been particularly cruel to Jewish infants. You're saying, take my young wife and my baby boy to Egypt? Friend, God can make the worst places serve his best purposes. And the safest place to be is in the middle of God's will. Not only did Joseph not question God's choice of location, he didn't question God's method of protecting the child and the family. He could have said, well, look, isn't this God's son? Can't he just call a legion of archangels to protect us? Can't he just strike Herod dead? Can't he wither the hand that's stretched out against him? Yes, to all of those things. But many times God chooses a way that we would not choose to fulfill his purposes. He accomplishes things how he wants to accomplish them. He works all things according to the counsel of his own will, it says in Ephesians, not our will, but according to the counsel of his will. Some of you remember back at our previous facility, we used to have 7 services on the weekend, plus 2 of those went out live to actually the clubhouse that was over the golf course here. We had 2 services there that went simultaneous with it, and we were just out of space. People would line up and people would get turned away most every weekend from some of the services. There just wasn't room for them. And we so desperately needed a place, and eventually we landed on 6 different parcels of land right here on the avenue that we're presently on Catella Avenue. 4 different owners that lived in different places in the country. And no one thought it possible, but we put it together. They all sold to us. We consolidated the land and had an 18-acre site. It's where Costco sits right now, right down the road. That was ours. And then we worked on plans for a solid year, working closely with the city, turned the plans in to get permits to build. And 3 days after we turned the plans in, got a letter from the city's redevelopment agency stating that they were going to buy our property from us and for a price that was millions of dollars less than the value of the property, and that if we didn't capitulate immediately, they would enact eminent domain, seize our property, and lock us out of it, which they promptly did. A legal battle ensued that went on for years and years and years. Ended up in federal court, just one step below the Supreme Court, and we actually ended up winning the case. Now, the upshot of everything is this. Instead of the 18 acres we had, we ended up with almost double, 33 acres here. And a legal precedent was set that helped the church across America. Now, God's ways are higher than our ways. He didn't say, look, guys, come here, huddle time. This is what's going to happen. This is what we're doing. I'm actually going to give you double the property, and a legal precedence is going to be set. It's going to help hundreds, if not thousands of churches across the nation, so I need you guys to be the tip of the spear on this thing. He didn't say any of that. He just led us as a church to buy that property and to get busy with it, and that he worked all of these other things out. He doesn't choose methods and means that we would normally choose. But we need to continue trusting him, which is what Joseph did. And that's the fourth thing I want to talk to you about. He trusted. Joseph lived in dependence upon God. I don't know if you noticed, but when God, through the angel, said to Joseph, go into Egypt, got his family together and he left, God didn't say where in Egypt. Egypt is a big place. But Joseph packed up his family, what little belongings he had, and they headed to Egypt. He was trusting that once he got there, God would give him the next step in the journey. He didn't say, well, okay, I'll go. Give me the name of the city. Give me the name of the person that's going to be waiting for us. It didn't, nothing. He just got up and went, trusting that the Lord would lead him. And then the angel said, and stay there until I bring you word. Well, how long is that? Is that a week? Is that going to be a month? Is that like 3 months? Could that be a year? That was all the instruction he got. You just head to Egypt and you stay in Egypt till I give you word. No other instruction. Now, many commentators feel that Joseph, Mary, and Jesus were actually in Egypt for more than a year, even multiple years. And some of them go as far as to say they estimate he was there for 7 years. But the thing is, until Herod died, there was silence. There's no record of God speaking to him through a dream, giving him any further direction whatsoever. Perhaps years of silence, but Joseph stayed and he trusted. And then the word of the Lord came to him that Herod had died. And he came back to Israel, as we're going to read in a moment. I think we should all be faithful to continue doing the last thing God told us to do until we receive fresh direction. To just stay at it. Verse 19 of chapter 2, it says, now when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, arise, take the young child and his mother, go into the land of Israel. For those who sought the young child's life are dead. Then he arose, took the young child and his mother, and came into the land of Israel. Now, again, notice it doesn't say where in Israel. Israel's a big place, especially to a carpenter from a small village. But he immediately gathered up his family and obeyed God, trusting God to direct him once he got moving. Philip, there's a raging revival going on in the city of Samaria. He's leading the revival. The Holy Spirit said, go out into the desert. That's it. No more direction. He goes out to the desert, and then the Holy Spirit speaks again. Said, look, there's an Ethiopian eunuch. This guy's powerful in Ethiopia. He's right under the queen. Go talk to him. Shares with him, gets him saved, baptizes him in water, and the door to an entire nation is now open. But he didn't know that. The only direction he had was go out to the desert. God generally just gives us a little bit of light, and we need to walk in that light before he gives us more. Now, tonight, you get in your car. If you've got a car here, you turn it on. The headlights will come on. They'll shine 50 feet in front of you. You can sit in the car from now till you die if you're thinking, I'm not going home until my headlights shine all the way home. No, they're going to give you 50 feet of light. You drive that 50 feet, they'll give you 50 more feet of light. God will do you the same way. Walk in the light that he gives you, and God will give you more light. You know, I love the story of Joseph and how, God led him and how he, took his family from here to here and the angel spoke to him. It's just fascinating to me. And there's truth in there that we can learn from. But, throughout this whole story, The most important thing is that the Savior of the world was born. And this Christmas season, I pray that you are blessed beyond measure and that you come to know this Savior that came into the world to redeem sinners, the one who came to seek and to save that which was lost, which was you and me, my friend. And you know, there may be people in our own personal world that need to hear that a Savior has come, and God wants to use you and He wants to use me to share the good news with them. It doesn't have to be some high and lofty presentation, but just a normal conversation. We can tell someone about what Jesus has done for us. So listen, I just want to wish you the best, the most blessed, the most joyful Christmas that you have ever had. Father, I pray you'd bless my friend. Bless them beyond measure. Bless them beyond expectation. And for those of you that share with us and support this gospel broadcast, I just want to say thank you and God bless you.
Heb je vragen over de uitzending? Of houd je iets bezig waarvoor we kunnen bidden? Schrijf ons dan of bel ons op. Ons team is er voor je.
We have a daily email devotional that I believe can be of great benefit to you. You know, when we take God's word in every day, it helps us become established in the Lord. The Bible talks about the inward man being renewed day by day. Jesus had to take up our cross daily and to follow Him.
Lees de overdenking op je smartphone, 's ochtends bij de koffie, wanneer je onderweg bent of meteen op je computer.
Take time to sow the seeds of God's word into your life every day with this free email devotional.
Loop je met vragen rond over hoe je je problemen kunt overwinnen? Ontdek met Baylis Conley de Bijbelse antwoorden hierop.
Going through trials right now, maybe with your health, your finances, at work, some other arena, you can still be used by God to meet the needs of others, to strengthen others, and to encourage others. And it's an important lesson to learn that God needs to be the wind in your sails. He doesn't just work when you're feeling tip-top, friend. God is God regardless of what is going on in our lives.
Abonneer je op ons YouTube-kanaal.
Wil je meer weten en op de hoogte blijven van Antwoorden met Baylis Conley? Meld je dan aan voor de gratis maandbrief van Baylis per e-mail of per post. God zegen.